everybody. I am making my famous coleslaw from scratch recipe today, so I thought I would invite you into my kitchen. As you can see, it is a very large, very fancy kitchen. Not even in the slightest. I pretty much live in a tiny house, but this is a great kitchen and I love it, so I'm not knocking it at all. I'm going to chop up this cabbage, obviously. You know, my mom used to do this. My mom used to make coleslaw from scratch, but really from scratch. And I have a little twist that I do on it. So I'm going to show you that today. So first what I do is I pull out some of the outside leaves here because they're usually kind of yucky. So pull off some of those. And then I'm going to cut this in half basically, but there's a big core here in the center. And so when I cut it, I kind of go to the side so that I'm not cutting into this big thick core here where this knob is on the end. So I take this half and I start just cutting very thin slices of this cabbage. Now, if you haven't trained arms yet today, this is a great arm workout if you're going to be making a lot of coleslaw because it can get challenging to get through this super thick vegetable. And so I started making this when I was cutting last summer because I was in this group that promoted eating a lot of cabbage. And the reason they did that was because if you were coming off a standard American diet and going onto a bodybuilding cutting diet, it was kind of a big change going from one extreme to the other. Most people, they start counting calories and realize how little 1,500 calories is, and they find themselves super, super hungry. So this is a great way to eat a ton of food in one sitting and not eat a ton of calories. So that's what I started doing, I would say probably a year and 3 months ago when I was doing my summer cut, and I got really lean from eating this. And every time that I was super hungry or I needed a big refeed day, I would make this, keep it in my fridge because it lasts in the fridge for a couple days, and I'll show you how this comes together. Okay, so I've basically shredded this cabbage, and I'm not gonna keep them as these big, huge slices. So I'm just gonna separate them into smaller pieces and pop them here in my bowl. Chop through these a bit. Okay, and if you have any big pieces like this, I just take those out. So now we have basically like a whole bag of shredded cabbage. I'll show you. It's a good amount. This bowl is, I'd say, half full for sure with this beautiful raw cabbage. Again, make sure you don't have huge pieces in there. If you do, you can take them out, cut them up a little bit, or just take them out and leave them out. All right, so I have my shredded cabbage here. Now I'm gonna go get my magic ingredient. You're gonna laugh. Here's my magic ingredient. It is store-bought coleslaw. So, I don't remember who I got this recipe from. You know, I went to a party and someone had made this amazing coleslaw, and they were like, you're not gonna believe the recipe because the recipe is hilarious. And she told me this, and I was like, that sounds nuts, but it is incredible. So since I have about half a bowl full of my shredded cabbage, I'm gonna take half of this. I'm gonna eyeball it. You can weigh this if you want, but I'm gonna do half of this container. That's about right. And then I just start mixing it in and separating these little teeny pieces of coleslaw that are prepared, because usually it's shredded really tiny, and mix it. Hi, Dixie. Dixie just came in. She knows I'm putting something together, so she's going to see if there's anything that fell on the floor. Right? She's down there wagging at me. Okay, so there's just one thing that you need to do when making this. I'll typically leave my humongous fork. You see? This is like a serving fork. In my bowl, you see what it looks like? It looks like prepared coleslaw mixed with raw cabbage. Super simple. Now what you want to do is you want to take this and put it in your fridge and let it sit for at least an hour. And then all of the juiciness and the yumminess is going to wilt the rest of that raw cabbage and make it all come together in this magic coleslaw. It's incredible. So that's all you have to do. It's just, it looks beautiful. It looks like, you know, I did this great big coleslaw prep. So that's it. I'm gonna put this back in there. Put my cabbage back in there. And here's the best thing about it. What I would do when I'm super hungry is I will grab that bowl in there and I will use that huge fork and I'll just scoop it into my mouth, because when it is mixed with that raw cabbage, the calorie count goes way down because the calories are in the dressing. So if you can take any kind of dressing, I do this with sauces also. I'll dilute sauces with chicken broth or with water or all kinds of things like that, because then I still have the taste, but I don't have all those dense calories. So that coleslaw, I believe I ran the macros on that last year, and for a cup of it, it's like 40 calories. So you can eat 3 cups of that and still have barely any calories that you ate. So it's awesome. I hope you like this video, and I'll see you soon. Bye.